Testing. Testing. All right, so it's been a while that it's been a while that I did a live stream for you guys, trying to get myself back into it. And today is all about the weekend, doing some weekend lab work, and I need to upgrade my SCCM. I am going to mute myself a lot, so this is going to be like a silent kind of thing. The chat is open. I'm able to talk to you guys on the chat. So if you have any questions or comments, just shoot it there. All right. Because there's a lot of background noise. Neighbors' kids are going crazy. So, all right, let's get started. All right, so let's where to start. First things first, I need to opt in to 2303. This is the checklist. Site system roles. I need to get that PowerShell script, which is right here. So I'm actually gonna start downloading this, and I'm gonna bring it over here. All right, I'm gonna open up path to the UMC, and let's go in here, desktop, and let's drag and drop. I actually have almost all the early update rings, 2006, 2010, 2103, 2107, 2111. I got almost all of them, so it's crazy. I keep track of that stuff. All right, so that's dropped inside my server right here. I'm just gonna double click on it. I'm gonna allow it to extract, and boom, cool. All right, I'm gonna right click on it, and I'm gonna edit, and it's gonna open up on PowerShell ISE. But before I even do that, actually I could run this before looking into the core requirements. I mean, this is a really super chill weekend kind of thing, live stream, not really professional. So I'm just going in there into my lab and upgrading this because I want to make sure I'm running the latest version. I know there's like a crap load of checklists. Definitely the Microsoft Dot framework, and I have a script for this, and Windows ADK. So let's take care of the .NET one. And .NET one, like I said, I actually have a script that I need to post up into my repository for you guys, so you guys can actually take advantage of it and use it. So it's going to go inside the registry, check this hive right here, and basically push out what version you want. Now, one of the core requirements for the .NET framework is version 4.6.2 for site server, site systems, specify site systems, clients, consoles, blah, blah, blah. If possible, in your environment, install the latest version of .NET framework. So basically, just download and install the latest and greatest version of .NET framework. I think I already did that. So I'm going to actually run this script. Again, if you guys want this script, just let me know at the comment section. Most likely, if I remember, because I'm pretty old and I forget, I drop it inside my repository, and you guys can grab a copy of it. So it's going to run right now. I am running 4.8, so I'm good on that. Next is Windows ADK, and on Windows ADK, the latest Windows ADK is 22.621. It supports everything except 2111. I think I have 22,000, which is great because it supports all these flavors and it also supports the version that I want to get into. So let's check that out. Let's click on Start within my SCCM server, or for a lot of you might want to correct me, it's what is it? Endpoint Configuration Manager. I'm going to go old school and just do SCCM. So let's go to Programs and Features. My Windows ADK is running 22,000. Windows PE is running Windows ADK 22,000. So I'm good on that part. And I'd rather stay here, because sometimes when you run the latest and greatest one, it always causes problems. But I'm going to stay on this version here. So I'm good on that. And I am running 2211, which is another requirement. You have to have, I think, SCCM on a certain version before you could push to 2303, right? 2303. All right. So that's one of the core requirements. SQL, I am running 2014. Let's check this out. All right, I should be good on this here. All right, not really doing none of this. Windows updates, okay. All right, cool. All right, looks like I have all the core requirements that I need. So let's close this. Let's clear this. And before I do anything, I like to run this guy here. Let's log into this. Let's open this go up. I'm going to say a lot of things that is not going to make sense. This is just me being relaxed over the weekend. So if I don't make any sense, I do apologize for that. But typically, I like to open up the Configuration Manager Service Manager application, and I like to make sure this is running. And I also like to make sure that DMP downloader is running. And this is what I typically do within my environment. I like to make sure that this is running. I feel like everyone has their own pattern that they do on servers. You do certain things to make sure everything is running. And this is what I like to do. SQL, log into that. I like to make sure this is running. Awesome. All right, so make sure all that's running. And before I run this, I just want to show you guys that my Configuration Manager console does not have 2303 being advertised. So I don't want you to think, nothing's being advertised. So once we run this guy here, it should pop up here. So I'm going to close it. Boom. And we're going to run it. And before you run it, just, look at it, make sure it's kosher, make sure it's safe. Right now it's asking for the site server, and I like to enter the full qualified domain of my server name. Hit enter. Boom. This is a good thing. Command completed successfully. Awesome. Now from here, if you've seen a lot of my videos dealing with upgrading your SCCM or your endpoint configuration manager, whatever you want to call it, I run this command, I open up the console and just make sure it's there. So I'm going to close this up because it's good. Let's go back to start, locate this guy, launch it up. And then from here, let's go into administration, updates and servicing, and there goes our package 2303. It's downloading now. We're going to wait until the state stops or changes to something else, and then we can continue. So I'm going to mute right now, and again, it's going to basically be like you are watching paint dry on the wall. You're wondering if I backed up these machines. I did. I basically backed up everything before I started. Like that's the first thing that you should do. Either back it up with whatever software you're using. I'm using this, the Community Edition one, because it allows me to back up 12 virtual machines for free. And I backed up all my core machines, the database, and my SCCM. If you don't have a backup solution, make sure you take a snapshot of your SCCM and your database server. If your database server is housed within the SCCM server, just take a snapshot, back it up before you start doing all this, before you start running the PowerShell script and waiting until this gets downloaded. Now, core requirements, you got to make sure .NET framework is 4.6 and up. If you got 4.8, you're on point. For SQL, I think you have to have at least 2012 and up, maybe. I have 2014. Eventually, I'm going to upgrade my SQL server to something else. So I might do like a video on how to upgrade that soon. Your Windows ADK has to be the latest version. I'm running this version right here. I'm not going to like stress myself and push it out to this. I'd rather keep it here because it's stable. Every time you push the latest ADK is always problems. So I keep it to this version right now. Yeah. Make sure your SCCM is up to date. .NET framework, that's good. Alright, cool. I'm doing pretty good so far. So it's just basically waiting and clicking refresh constantly until this changes for us to right click and continue. For those that are tuning in, I appreciate the support, appreciate the love. Let's chat. What's going on? How are you doing? How's your weekend going so far? Are you playing around with Configuration Manager 2303? If not, what version are you running within your lab or even in your 9-to-5 job? And are you even pushing out Windows 11 or you're still stuck with Windows 10 pushing it out at your job? Let me know at the chat. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. All right, it's ready to install. Awesome. Sometimes I like to wait. I know we're live streaming this. Again, this is like a really chill, laid back kind of live stream, so I'm not really going to stress it. I know this is going to be super long, so a lot of you are going to tune in. Awesome. And then disappear, which is okay. I'm not going to play any music for you guys in the background because I don't want to get hit with any copyright stuff. So it's going to be super silent. Sometimes I'm going to talk, sometimes I won't. I apologize for that. but I'm gonna go for it. I sometimes wait at least 5 to 10 minutes until it's kind of settled down. But I'm gonna right click it, click it. I'm gonna right click on the configuration manager 2303, and you got two options. You are able to do this option here, but in reality, when you do this option, it's gonna do this option anyway. So why do this and then what, and then you have to do this again? It just doesn't make sense to me. So I just go for this. On a production environment, I typically don't ignore the preregs warning. Production wise, I don't do this. Testing, I do. And I know I'm not missing any core requirements, so I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm going to ignore it because I want to go through it real quick. So I'm going to hit next here. These are some of the features included on the update pack. You are able to actually check some of this stuff off or enable it later on. I'm going to leave everything as is. I'm not going to make any changes. I'm going to click next here. I think for all my videos and typically offline, I do upgrade without validating. You are able to validate in the pre-production and collection. Just, click it and then click on browse and then pick your collection. But I typically do this and click next here. I'm definitely going to, oh my God. It's crazy when I record this stuff, I'm able to edit and make myself sound much clearer. Sometimes I'm not even, I don't know, it's crazy. So I'm going to accept the license and terms here because it won't allow you to go next. I'm not going to do this, so click next here. I don't have, even though I have Azure and I'm able to attach it, I'm not going to sign in. So if you uncheck this, it grades out and then it allows you to continue. If not, yeah, you still need to sign in to continue. So I'm going to uncheck this because I'm not going to do the cloud attach as of yet. That's going to be like a later on future video that I'm going to do for you guys. So click next here. Nice little summary. Click next. It's going to do its thing. And then we are back into watching paint dry. And we are going to click close. And underneath the state column, it's going to start saying installing. And again, we're looking at paint dry. And I'm going to mute myself for now. I'm going to just basically wait it out until this changes. All right, so it's doing the check, requirement checks, and I typically will like go into here and just look at it, refresh constantly and see where it's at. I'm getting a lot of warnings, which is okay. The warnings will still allow you to continue. SQL, database server performance issues can cause, I know about this. This is not a huge thing for me because it's a lab. Catalog roles are unsupported. Company resources, access policies. I mean, typically anyone should be in here looking into some of the installation status and just basically looking at it. I'm super surprised that this went green because typically in the past it would give you the warning even though you have the latest and greatest .NET framework. So it looks like Microsoft fixed this that it actually gives you a green because you have the correct .NET framework. I think in the past when I had 2211 and I upgraded to 2211, it gave me a warning and I had 4.8 installed, but it still gave me the warning. Stupid. It's crazy. This is it right here. Look, I'm blind. I gotta wear my glasses. See, so it still gives me the warning. Configuration Manager requires at least a .NET Framework 4.6, but recommended the latest one. Dude, I got the latest one. It's what the hell? I don't get it. So this is what I was talking about. It gives you still the warning. Required version for Microsoft.NET. Recommended version isn't. I just don't. I think I'm off. Whatever. And these are all basics, but it will allow me to continue. These warnings, regardless if I got these warnings, I'm still able to move forward with it, which is great. If I had a critical or an error, automatically stop. It wouldn't continue. Right now we are at the installation phase, so it's checking the site server readiness. Hopefully that will pass, and then it's going to continue with the other steps. So my machine is going like really crazy right now. High. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's like going. No, it's going crazy. All right, so back into looking at paint dry. That freaked me out, but that freaked me out a little bit. Everything just disappeared. Holy crap. My heart just completely dropped. Like all this stuff just disappeared. For those that are tuning in, make sure you put this in full screen because you're gonna see everything. It looks pretty cool when it's full screen. Full screen? That's what I said. Full screen. Ah, it's nuts. I need more coffee in my system. Ah, so tired. Ah, I guess no one wants to talk. No one wants to chat. You finally got me online to ask me questions about this stuff. And you guys are not asking questions. I don't get it. You'd rather ask questions when I'm not hardly paying attention to the comment sections, which is crazy. Ah. So I don't know if you guys realized I started pushing out Windows Intune and Windows Autopilot videos for you guys. I'm gonna try to do that a lot more. Push out those two topics into the channel, and the reason why is because I'm actually getting ready at my 9 to 5 job to deploy that, and I'm pretty excited. So I'm doing it within a lab environment. You know, I purchased a Microsoft 365 premium license, only one of them. They're pretty expensive, and to actually get my tenant up and running, and it's pretty awesome how everything works. For Autopilot to actually work, you need to contact whatever vendor you're getting your desktops and laptops. So for my 9 to 5 job, we have to talk to like Dell and HP because that's what we deal with. So that's gonna be pretty exciting to talk to the vendor and give them access to the Autopilot for them to import the hardware ID into our Autopilot, and everything is like pre-configured. It's pretty awesome with the profiles and stuff, especially when everyone is working hybrid right now. And if their laptop at home goes down, you can purchase a new one, and then when they receive the new one and they take it out the box, they start up, they log in to their Azure account, the profiles kick in. It's such an awesome process. And pretty excited that I'm doing that. Um, I'm learning it and also pushing it out to the channel. Those that are working with Autopilot as well as Intune, you know, if you have feedback, please leave your feedback on those videos. I would love to hear from you guys because it's all new to me. All right, let's see where we at. Installation. All right, all green. It's in the upgrade configuration database. So that's cool. So if you have been following me, I actually migrated my SCCM SQL database away from my SCCM server because I noticed that the database server was like really hitting this machine hard. So I decided to create a new virtual machine, and I migrated everything over to here. And I noticed like a huge big difference, like night and day. I know a lot of people actually have the database and the SCCM in one server, but if you separate them, it's like night and day. It's like serious. I'm actually running my SCCM with at least 8 gigs of memory. Before I was running it with like 16, so it dropped down to 8 gigs because I moved over the database. And I think the database right now, I have it set up to, I don't know, 8 gigs. But it's not even utilizing 8 gigs. It's only like doing like 6 gigs. Alright. So it's in the process of updating the database. So again, it's a waiting process. All right, and waiting for it to do its thing. So I'm constantly hitting refresh. This is just me being me. Cool. I just noticed I have 69 views. 69. Get it? Yeah, I'm losing it. It's the weekend. Relax, people. Relax. What's going on, John? John Peter. Hopefully you're still there. We're basically looking at paint drying on the wall because it's going to be a long yes, finished upgrading the database and it's green. Yes. Now it's at the installing files. And look, listen, check this out. I just noticed this. You can make fun of me, but if you take your mouse and you get that little T kind of thing and you move it all the way to the right to like expand that column, the description column, it gives you a description which I know about, but it also gives you the log that you're able to look into to check out. Oh my god. I've been doing SCCM for so long, I've never known that. I basically just know which log I need to go into to, look, check out the log if there is an error or problem. But I never knew that within the description, they actually gave you the log. Check out log for details. Holy crap, I'm telling you, you learn something new every single time. Crazy. Ooh, Power Automate. Nice. What are you doing with Power Automate, John? Isn't Power Automate all about like if and then flows, from my understanding? I think the most that I dealt with Power Automate was creating forms for my 9 to 5 job and other jobs that I dealt with, like creating forms. And if the form would have like a yes and no, and behind the scenes, Automate would be like, okay, if the person hit yes, do this. If they hit no, do this. So that's the most that I've done with Power Automate. What type of Power Automate are you doing, John? I would love to hear from you. What's the problem? This is me constantly checking and checking and checking. Ah, it disappeared again. Ugh. It's gonna show up. Hopefully it shows up. Show up. This happened before. I mean, something's happening. I'm getting a lot of green check marks. The fact that it's disappearing, it's okay. Like, I'm normally not constantly refreshing this much, but because I'm live streaming with you guys, that's the reason why I'm doing it. But I would typically just walk away from this and then come back maybe in 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Oh, nice. Extract data from Excel files to a SharePoint list. Nice. That sounds extremely fun. Crazy. So are the client or your users giving you the Excel files, and then all you're doing is just extracting them into this nice overview within SharePoint, like a visual kind of thing for people to see? Or you're automating basically exporting the Excel like a CSV file behind the scenes, and then Power Automate will go into this repository section where this Excel file is located, extract the data from it, and then push it out to SharePoint for people to view it. That's pretty awesome though. All right. Typically, this is a good sign. Whatever updates you had here within updates and servicing disappears. It kind of like wipes it clean. And this is just whatever update you're pushing is just cleaning itself up. I wonder if this live stream is gonna hit 100 views. That'd be pretty awesome if it does. 100 and plus views. Let's go. That's the go. That's the go. 100 views, people. 100 views. Let's do this. Okay. I'm thinking I might do these more over the weekend because I typically do a lot of offline things that you guys don't see in what I'm doing, or I start prepping to record stuff and then I push it out, you know, during the week. But sometimes I get pretty lazy to do certain videos. Like this one right here, I would build out the deck and I would record it, but I haven't done like an actual live video for you guys of me clicking on stuff like step by step for a long time. My process of building my videos is pretty straightforward because I try to not make long videos for you guys because you guys come to the channel to view something. You want to get in and out. You want something done, right? You don't want me to have a 10-minute video of something that will be 3 minutes, right? So I would like to do these more. Depends. I definitely need to look into maybe some background music for you guys because half the time I'm silent. But I gotta try and find music that I'm not hit with copyright issues with YouTube because I don't want that problem. And I'm hearing like a big bee next to my window. It's gorgeous outside right now, super sunny. Definitely gonna go outside. I want to do a long distance run. I don't know if you guys know about that about me. You know, I am a track coach. I do track and field coach, and I'm also strength conditioning. If you care that much about me and you want to learn about me, but I love running. My son is into long distance and cross country as well, and it's just the best going outside and running, get that fresh air. So today is definitely a good time to go do some long distance run. Um, just work out, not be stuck at home. Uh, so hopefully this gets done on time. I think once this is upgraded to 2303, I might create a dummy virtual machine and then deploy something just to make sure everything is working properly. That's always best practice. Make sure that you're able to deploy one of your OSs when you upgrade. But yeah, like I said earlier, I'm gonna try to do more live streams like this for you guys. Hopefully you enjoy this type of stuff. And when I'm muted, maybe play some music that I don't get hit on YouTube rules with copyright issues, and you guys can't just not listen to anything. Some groovy, I don't know, maybe animals. I don't know. I'm just talking nonsense, talking to myself. Look at using Power Automate to automate AD user creation. Ideas for Power Automate management. Ooh, I like that, John. Power Automate with AD users. Are you talking about Active Directory users on the AD local level, right? Or Active Directory on the Azure level, or both. That'd be pretty cool. That would be a nice, awesome video to look into. I'm always willing to learn something new and see if I'm able both. I like that. I like that. I am definitely going to jot that down as a potential video. I'm gonna definitely look into it because I've done Power Automate, but I never actually gone beyond creating a form and doing Power Automate with forms, with Microsoft Forms, right? But getting into like the Azure AD or AD local, that'd be pretty awesome. And I'm not showing myself on the live stream because who wants to look at this face, right? Get enough of me with the other videos that I push out to you guys. All right, cool. So right now it's doing the post installation. Awesome sauce. We're almost there. So Power Automate with, and I'm writing all this stuff down in my little black book. AD users. All right, cool. I like that idea. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate you. Nova Prime. You're welcome. But you know what? I didn't do much. I didn't do anything. I didn't really do anything. I had MDT was the first deployment application that I learned before I started moving into the SCCM, or again, Endpoint Configuration Manager. For those that want to correct me constantly, MDT was the first deployment application, and especially when you had a company that did not want to spend money on SCCM licensing and all that stuff, MDT was the way to go because it was free, it was easy, and it's still powerful to this day. The only problem that I have with MDT right now is that Microsoft has stopped upgrading MDT overall. I think the last big update for MDT, and you could probably correct me if I'm wrong, was MDT 8453. For some reason, that number pops out of my head like 8453. And that was like around 2019 or 2020, and that was it. They stopped pushing out upgrades to MDT. I think the only thing that you probably could upgrade will be the Windows ADK to support the operating system that you want to push out. So if you want to push out Windows 11, you got to make sure you're running the latest Windows ADK that allows you to push out Windows 11, right? 8456. Did I say that? 8456? Because I have bad memory. I probably did say 8456. Thank you, Nova. Yeah, but you're welcome. But in reality, I don't think I did much. I just pushing out what I'm passionate, and I'm glad that I helped a lot of you guys with the materials that I'm pushing it out. I haven't pushed out a lot of MDT stuff because there's not much to push out nowadays because they're not really pushing out anything new. I could start pushing out more MDT stuff, dealing with Windows 11 for those individuals that cannot use SCCM. I've thought about that. I just gotta actually have some time to get into the MDT world again, and because MDT is all about, like, this is how I see SCCM and MDT, and you could probably agree with me or not. MDT is like the Android world. SCCM is like the iPhone world. Think about it, right? And Android allows you to do customizations. You're able to do all kinds of crazy things. The same thing with MDT. If you know how to get your hands dirty, you're able to customize the custom settings.ini file to the point that you're able to deploy something depending on what subnet that that subnet of that computer is coming from. If that computer is coming from a subnet of, I don't know, 10.10.10.0, it deploys this. If this machine is from 192.168.00 whatever, it pushes this, right? You're able to do the same thing with SCCM within the graphical interface. But with MDT, you actually got to get behind the scenes and start modifying files to get to that point. So that's why I feel like MDT is like the Android world, and SCCM is really fancy and super expensive like the iPhone. That's true. Yep. Takes the robot out of you. What about autopilot payload? MDT's hash sequence. Ooh, that'd be a nice topic as well. I'm getting myself into the autopilot world right now, so I'm definitely going to. I have a couple things lined up with autopilot and Intune. It does consist of me working with autopilot and SCCM. I might migrate autopilot with MDT to see how that works out for those individuals that cannot utilize SCCM because of budget restrictions. John basically says build a custom image, inject autopilot payload, and get custom image machine to AAD join or hybrid AAD join. For those that don't know what AAD means, Azure Active Directory, join with autopilot. Oof, that sounds sweet, John. I like that. This is true, Nova. Like autopilot, I mean, there was one subscriber. um, he left a comment and it kind of made me think like, damn, dude, like, damn, you're really hard on me. But again, you guys, when you give me this type of feedback, I gotta listen to you guys because it's kind of true. Some of the stuff that I'm pushing out is sometimes old, but it's stuff that I enjoy doing and it's stuff that I'm learning and I'm just pushing it out to my channel because again, um, my channel is like my repository. This is, when I learn something, I like to document it. I'm not gonna document it on a Word document. Word document, I can lose it, right? If I put a Word document into, I could put it in my OneDrive, yeah, but who really wants to look at a Word document? If I take that Word document of this information that I'm learning and I put it inside a video, it will help out others, great, but there's been times that I've actually gone into my YouTube channel and looked into stuff that I've forgotten. And I look at myself with this video and I'm in and out. So my YouTube channel, I use it a lot as my repository area of keeping everything that I learn and I push it out. Some of the stuff that I push out is to you guys is like, yo, why are you doing this? This is old. But to me, I'm learning it and I want to document it somewhere that if someone is looking for this information, it's there to grab. Now for the autopilot stuff, um, it's something that I'm learning. My senior IT director is planning to start deploying Intune and Windows Autopilot, and also have Autopilot and Intune integrated with SCCM. So I started playing around with that stuff within my lab because it got me interested, and I'm slowly pushing that stuff out within my channel. So good things are happening. I mean, yes, autopilot is a huge thing because it's just you're able to do everything within your tenant, your Microsoft tenant, create these profiles. And now that we're living in the world that you're able to work from home, there's no such thing as snow days anymore, right? Snow days used to be great. You stay home, it's snow, no one works. But now, when there's a snow day, you stay at home, people are expecting you to work. So you got to provide your end users these laptops. If a laptop goes down, you have to figure out a way to get them a laptop up and running with all their applications, with security enabled, encryption enabled on the hard drives. Have them up and running into the point that they're local, but they're not local because they're hybrid. So Autopilot does that for you. You're able to purchase a laptop from Lenovo or Dell. They're able to import that hardware ID into your Autopilot devices. Once the end user gets that machine and it starts on and they get that open box experience kind of thing, and they log in into the Azure Active Directory account with their password that they use for everything, it authenticates, it pushes everything out, all the applications that you have within your Autopilot section, all the security profiles you have, and they're up and running with no problem. So that's pretty cool to me. That's why I'm interested with the whole Autopilot thing. And we hit 102 views. Woohoo! Nice. Okay, so we are still waiting. We're at this portion right here. All right, so it's just waiting. That's creepy. It says installed. What? Whoa. That's okay. Now we're rocking and rolling. This is what I was looking for. This is what I was looking for right here. So we're going to click OK. Configuration Manager should close. But sometimes I get problems with Configuration Manager closing, so I have to open up Task Manager and force close it for it to continue. But right now it's not responding. It's gonna be one of those days. Come on, there we go. I like to open up the Task Manager. I'm gonna open up the Task Manager real quick, open it up real fast. Like I told you, always got problems, right? So I'm gonna open up the Task Manager, and within the Task Manager, and I apologize if I'm talking real loud because I'm using the built-in mic on the laptop that I'm running all this stuff on. I don't really have like a high-tech live stream setup. This weekend I typically have a mixer and professional mic. I don't have none of that stuff, trust me. Super chill back. So just want to make sure Configuration Manager is not running. It is not running, which is good. We're going to close this. We're going to do a retry. And should get a window pretty soon. There we go. Oh, that's awesome, Nova. So, like Classroom, so I'm guessing you work for either a high school or a college because you mentioned classrooms and labs. Or are you okay? So, Nova, it looks like you got experience with Autopilot. So you established a relationship with the vendor that you're getting these laptops, correct? Like Dell or Lenovo, whomever. and they're the ones that kind of import the hardware ID into your autopilot device section. And then, from my understanding, for the research that I've done, and I'm still playing around with it, I'm trying to build some content out of this so I can push it out to you guys. You will have like certain profiles that will push out applications and all that stuff to the hardware, or you have, and also you have to like assign that device to a user. All right, configuration manager supposed to launch automatically when it's done, but it typically does not do it. I don't know why. Let's give it some time before I continue. It's not launching up. Oh. Alright, let's click on start. Let's go to control panel. And programs and features. Programs and features. Still stuck on 2211. So it hasn't been updated yet. Okay. Interesting. Let's look at the task manager. I can launch the configuration manager, but I have a feeling that if I do that, it's going to be like, no, still need to update. Alright, let's give it some time. Be patient, grasshopper. Alright, so this is basically me not being patient. Let's end that real quick. There we go. It's just one of those, you just gotta be patient. It's like, for freak's sakes, man, why it takes this long? Alright, let's give it some time. It should show up. Should show up. And now we could just troubleshoot it, but it should show up. It just takes time. I've dealt with this in the past, so there's no can't freak out. So let's just patiently wait. What? That's crazy, Nova. So you gotta oh have to manually register existing devices into then enroll with autopilot. Whoa. So I'm guessing you're using some type of PowerShell to get the hardware ID of all your devices to export to a CSV file, CSV file. Oh my gosh. Ugh, sorry. So you're getting this CSV file and you're importing it into your autopilot device section. Correct? I think that's what you're doing. Hopefully you're automating all that stuff and not doing it manually. Please, please tell me you're not doing it manually and that you're automating everything to make your life much simpler. This is going to be all right. So as you saw, this is normal. This always happens to me. Always. It just takes forever to do this. I don't know. Have you guys ever experienced this before? You know, when you're upgrading your configuration manager and it gets to this point to upgrade your console, it gives you that little dialog box. You click OK, it closes down. It doesn't fully close down, so it basically says retry. You retry again. It looks like it's downloading the files. You get this. It just freaking appears, and then you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're Why? And then eventually nothing happens. So I have no patience, so I always click on the configuration manager. It launches again. I press OK, it disappears, blah, blah, blah. Always takes me about 3 or 4 times until this dialog box doesn't disappear on me, which is not disappearing right now. And it sounds like I'm bitching, but you know, it happens to me all the time. So I don't know if it's a common thing that happens to everyone, or only happens to me within my little lab. It drives me nuts. So we're just gonna wait right now. We're getting a little circle of death kind of thing going. It's still stuck on this little guy, so we're just gonna wait right now. I know something's happening, so hopefully the Microsoft Configuration Manager console gets upgraded so it can move forward. All right. So removing the older version, yes, of this application is doing something. It heard me. It heard my frustration. Yes. Damn it. Oh, thank you, Nova. I am not alone with this. So frustrating. Yes, this is what I like to see. Why? Oh, Microsoft creates phenomenal software to make system administrators' life easy, but they complicate things like simple things like this. Okay, now it's opening up, and typically when this opens up, I just let it breathe for a bit, let it simmer for a while. But because I'm live streaming everything with you guys, I can't really do that. Never expected to see a live stream on SCCM upgrade. Haha, cool thing though. Ah, I know, right? It's really uncommon to see a live stream of upgrading the SCCM console rather than doing behind the scenes and you're upgrading it behind the scenes and then recording it, and then you get a shitload of problems, and then the person doesn't really show you all the shitload of problems and then cut all that stuff up to give you this video of a successful installation. Nah, we're not gonna do that. Not in this live stream. We're gonna do everything live. If I have problems, we're gonna fix it, and hopefully, it doesn't go on beyond 3 or 4 hours of me trying to fix this crap. So it looks like it's successfully installed. I'm going to go inside administration, updates and servicing, and boom. I think if we also go inside control panel and programs and features, boom, 2303, awesome sauce. If you also go inside administration, you go inside site configuration, you go into sites, right click on this guy, let's go to properties, and within here you should see this version. This is the latest version in the build 9106. Looks like our primary site was upgraded with no problem, and uh, most likely your clients. I think your clients on your network should automatically get upgraded automatically. For the client distribution package, if you go inside, let me see if I remember because I'm getting old. Software library, application management, and from here we are going to go into packages. Boom. Awesome. Okay. All right, so looking at the timestamp, because today is 422, right? Today's 422. That's how crazy I am. 422. 107 was the last update, so it looks like it updated itself. I don't really need to like right click and distribute the content. looks like it already updated itself, distributed itself. So I shouldn't do that. But if your timestamp right here doesn't fit the time frame that you pushed out your update, what you could do is just right click on whatever configuration manager, right? Configuration manager client package that you're pushing out. Tongue twist. Right click and just distribute the content. So that was updated as well. So that's good. And I got a bunch of MDT settings. These are not really being used anymore. This was like really old school. Last time was like 2018 and 17. I don't remember me using this ever. Yeah, but these two packages were automatically updated during the time frame of us pushing out our update, which is great. So I think if we go inside software and try to remember, I'm getting old, people. Let's go to operating system. Let's gonna close this. Let's go to boot images. And within the boot images, ooh, one failed. Uh-oh. So we need to fix this 64 one. This one failed. Why did you fail? Ooh, that's crazy. All right, so let's right click on this guy. Let's distribute the content. Click next here. Let me see something. Let me check something out. I wonder why. I wonder why this one failed. Current is 22. Current production client is 9106. OS client. I'm gonna reload it. Click next here. All right, back to watching paint dry again. Alright, so it looks like it reloaded correctly. Refresh. Awesome. Look at that. That's what I want. See? 9106.1000 is what we needed to get, right? This is the old one. Super old. I'm not using the 86-bit boot image. I'm utilizing this right here. So it's actually in progress of doing what it needs to do. Let's go inside another section. Let's go inside administration. Site configuration. Let's go to sites. Where are you? Go in here. And upgrade. So client version is 9106, which is what we want. This is the time. You are able to check this off. Upgrade all clients in the hierarchy using the production. You are able to check this within the production. I won't do that for this live stream. I mean, you are able to do it if you want, but I'm not going to do that. Let's check. All right, it's green, and I think what I said before, green is always a good thing. Kind of freaked me out because it was in progress, but it's green now. For those that are tuned in, appreciate the support, appreciate the love. I'm not even gonna bother asking you guys, give me a like and subscribe. You want to subscribe? You want to give me a like? Go for it. That's up to you. I'm not going to, stress that out. Even though I just did it now, right? I apologize for that. But typically when I do that and I do all my checks, I went inside administration, I went inside the hierarchy settings. You are able to go inside client upgrades and check this off to push out the client within your infrastructure. It's up to you if you want to do that. Within this live stream, I had a red, which is a no-no. It looks like it failed, but I was able to right-click on it and just basically distribute. Did I distribute or update? I forgot which one I did. Distribute the content. And then from here, no, I didn't do that. See, I forget things, guys. I forget things. I right-clicked on it and I update the DP. Check this off and then I follow the prompts. And you want the client version to fit the same version that you are pushing out. It's 9106, which is, what is it? 2303. So now everything looks like it's okay. I do have operating systems in here. I have a Windows 11 operating system that I'm able to deploy, and I have a task sequence. I have a couple of task sequences being pushed out. So what I like to do typically when I push out SCCM and I check those sections to make sure everything is kosher, everything has been upgraded. Let's create a virtual machine. Let's push out an operating system. So let's click on next here. Let's give it a name. BTNHD. Win 11 01. Doesn't matter. Family, it's going to be a Windows, right? Duh. And we are going to we don't have Windows 11 here as of yet. I have to upgrade my hypervisor. I think version 8.0 will give you the option for Windows 11. So I'm going to click next here. Definitely going to pick this here. I'm going to keep everything. I'm going to upgrade this to maybe 100. Why not? And let's do 4,996 gigs. Let's give it 8 gigs for now. I'm going to put it into the LAN and finish. The reason why I'm going to put it into the LAN network, because the LAN network is in the same subset of where my SCCM is at. So if I look at my SCCM, it's on LAN, it's on Pixie. Pixie is listening in. It should pick it up. So this is our virtual machine. I'm going to power it on. It's going to launch, and I'm going to Crap. I don't know why this launches, which is weird. Let's reset that. God damn it. Why it keeps on doing that? Edit. Got it. Let's check that off. There we go. What? Power off. Keeps on booting. Yeah, I don't have that. Get out of that. I don't know why. Save. I don't know why it boots into that. That's such a weird little thing. Let's check something out real quick. Let's check you out. Because you are hosted into this. And that is why you are booting into that. So let's not connect you. Get you out of that. Virtual machine. My virtual machine is piggybacking on the hypervisor. So that's the reason why it's booting into that. So let's now, yeah, this is looking good. Okay. Yes, let's press enter. It's waiting for approval. It's connecting the 192.168.1.1.1.0 is actually my SCCM IP address, which is right here. Bingo. And we're just gonna wait. Awesome sauce. 50 pull-ups. I think the only thing that comes in mind right now, PowerShell modules at least, you look into PKI. PKI. That should give you, let's open up this guy right here, not now, and let's just Google it. Just Google it. Google it. PKI module. If I can spell it, there you go. I would say look into PKI module. This right here deals with public key infrastructure, PKI, yeah. So look into this module, and they got other sub modules that you can look into. Just, yeah, that should help you out a bit, hopefully. All right, so let's authenticate this. Click next. And we are going to pick this task sequence. Let's click next here, and hopefully everything should deploy. It's going back on mute mode. All right, so for those that are joining, yeah, we're deploying Windows 11 20 to, it's supposed to be 22H2. Sorry. uh, the live stream was all about upgrading our SCCM to 2303. We went over some of the core requirements right here. This is the core requirements. Hopefully, if I remember, I'll add all these links at the bottom of the live stream for you guys. This will allow you to get the opt-in PowerShell script that we used. Tells you how to use it, how to review. Actually, I have a script that I'm going to upload as well inside my repository site, so you guys can get a copy. The script actually tells you what version of .NET framework you have. Windows ADK, there's different flavors. I'm running this one. If you're running the latest one, great. It will still support it. I'm running this one right here, so I'm good to go. I don't like to upgrade Windows ADK every time they push out a new Windows ADK because sometimes it breaks stuff. Then you also have SQL requirements as well. So we went over all that stuff. We were able to upgrade our SCCM console, which we did. This guy right here. I checked the boot image. I checked the client stuff. Everything is up to par. Everything was upgraded successfully. Awesome. Super excited. Yay. And I recommend once you push out a new build for your SCCM or your endpoint configuration manager, deploy the operating system, which I'm doing right now. Deploy an operating system to a physical machine or a virtual machine. I'm doing it within a virtual machine because it's easier for me. And just make sure everything is working the way that you want it to work. I've seen once or twice when you upgrade your SCCM, deployment doesn't work properly, and it could be a lot of things. It could be either your DP didn't receive the content correctly. You might have to go in and redistribute your content to your distribution points. So it could be a lot of problems, but this is my way of testing within my lab, and I also like to do it within a production environment as well. Push out an operating system to make sure everything is working the way it's supposed to work. So this is where we're at right now. So if you're just joining right now and you're seeing this, we already took care of the SCCM upgrade part. Right now we're just testing. And we're going back into mute mode. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. I'm actually realizing right now that doing this takes about 2.5 hours. That's crazy. This entire process takes me around 2 hours, 2.5 hours to do all this. This is nuts. So you actually, like, for those that have been watching me, this is what I do when I am messing around with my lab during the weekend. Right? I look at documentation of requirements. I read that stuff and make sure everything is okay within my environment. I download. This is what I do. I think the only thing I did not show you guys is me up backing everything up, but I'm gonna minimize this real quick for you guys. I already did that behind the scenes. I'll show you guys. I actually did all that behind the scenes. I use this software. They're not sponsoring this at all. I got the free version of it. I'm not that legit for me to get sponsors like that. Uh, so I'm not name dropping a product. I mean, whatever product you guys are using to back up your virtual machines, hey, go for it. As long as it works for you. For me, I got a tight budget for my lab, so I like free stuff. This actually allows you to back up 12 virtual machines for free. Doesn't matter the size of it, which is great. And before I even started the live stream, I backed everything up. So whatever you're doing, make sure you back up your VMs or servers or whatever you have. Back it up before you start pushing out new stuff to it. Because if something messes up, you are able to recover. Uh, like for my job, my 9 to 5 job, I like to do a backup and do a snapshot on a VM level. So I would technically go inside the hypervisor or the vCenter, and I'm gonna close this up because it's doing its thing. I right click on it and I'll take a snapshot. So I have like 2 backups. The snapshot is awesome because I'm able to revert it back quickly. Or if it's like a disaster, I got the full backup of whatever, right? And it looks like the deployment is doing its thing. It looks like 2303 is working the way we want it to work. Awesome. Successful deployment. I'm doing a deployment with you guys live as well. That's awesome. I think the only problem that we actually had 2 problems. One problem was upgrading the configuration manager console. Had problems before. A couple of you actually mentioned, I think Nova mentioned that he's seen this headache as well. So he experienced it before or seen it before. That when upgrading the console, it doesn't look like it does anything. So you constantly have to open up the original console for it to prompt. It's just a pain in the butt. And the other problem was that the boot image was red. It didn't update successfully. It was still on the old boot image. So we actually had to reload it again and make sure that it was updated correctly for us to push or pixie boot into that boot image. So we got that working. We went inside SCCM to check to make sure everything was up to date, and we're deploying Windows 11. So looks like it's getting itself ready, and then hopefully we can end this live stream with something good happening at the end. Awesome, yay! 170 views, crazy. Can we end it with 200 views? Is it possible to get 200 views? Come on, let's push it. 200 views, people. Share the live stream. I sound like one of those YouTubers. Make sure you share, like, and hit that subscribe button. Listen, you want to do that? Go for it. I'm too tired to advertise myself like that. You know, you love the content, you like the content, go for it. Subscribe, like it. I don't really care. I'm gonna continue pushing what I love pushing out, and it's this type of content to you guys. I'm back. I'm still here. So don't feel like I'm gone. It's just I'm doing other things around the house. I'm actually getting myself ready to go run once this is done and it logs into Windows 11 successfully. Awesome. So I'm prepping around, actually cleaning the house as well, and so I can head out because it's so beautiful outside right now. But the sun is out, 66 degrees, but it's cloudy, but it's beautiful. It feels so nice, nice little breeze. For those that are watching, like how's the temperature around your area? Is it beautiful outside? Are you outside enjoying the weather? Hmm? Are you? I don't think you are because you're watching me. And I appreciate the support. You're probably working as well as and you're watching me too, so still appreciate the love. What? 73 and sunny? Oh, super jealous. 66 and cloudy, but the sun is peeking out between the clouds over here. And I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. Well, that kind of freaked me out. That animation, that Windows 11 animation, that was kind of creepy. Cool, but it was creepy. I was like, oh crap, there's a display problem. I've seen those type of animations before when you have like display problems, like driver problems, and that happens. Windows 11, you're crazy. All right, this is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty awesome. Woo. Yes, you could watch this broadcast later. Will it be recorded on YouTube? Yes, it's going to. As soon as I'm done, it's going to process behind the scenes within YouTube's servers, and it will get distributed out to my channel. You are able to check it out later on. If I'm not lazy and if I'm not into my lazy mode, I'll probably go in and create chapters for you guys, because it's about 2 hours. The majority of the 2 hour stream is like, ugh, no talking, because it's like watching paint dry. But we went through the entire process live, grabbing the script that we needed to get 2303, making sure everything was up to par to push it out successfully. We had a couple of issues, we fixed them live, so everything will be there for you. I'm going to try to create the chapters for you guys so you could just click on it, it jumps you there, you're able to jump around with no problem. But hopefully when I come back from my run, I'm not in my lazy mode, and I can do that for you guys. And then I actually got a couple of videos that I need to edit to push out for next week too. But yeah, Turkey, awesome. Turkey, I've been to Turkey once. I actually landed in Turkey, and I had to take uh, another flight to go to Bulgaria. So I landed to Turkey. It was pretty awesome. I had a flight delay, and it was crazy because I had, yeah, it was pretty crazy. I had a flight delay. I stayed in Turkey for a day. Yeah, I had to purchase my visa because I was stepping on ground of Turkey. So I had to purchase a visa for a day, and then the next day, I forgot what airline it was. The next day, I took the next flight to go to Bulgaria, and I was in Bulgaria the next day. All right, boom, we're in. Awesome. Right click on this. We're going to do a win VER. And I just want to show you guys that it is Windows 11, build 22H2, 22H2, right? 22H2, it's loading so slow. 22H2, boom, awesome. That's it, guys. The live stream is done. We have successfully upgraded our endpoint configuration manager. Let me close this because we're talking about this. We have successfully upgraded our endpoint configuration manager, or SCCM, because that's what I like using, to 2303. Again, we went over the core requirements. This is the website that I actually got the opt-in script to run within my SCCM server to retrieve the update, for the update to be shown here. We ran it. We looked at the status of it. You know, I ran a script to check to make sure .NET Framework was running the latest one. I'm going to upload that to my repository. I think, what is my repository? Is it GitHub? GitHub, yeah, my repository is GitHub, yeah, GitHub. I'll drop it in there so you guys can get a copy of that, run that script within your SCCM, and it would tell you which version of .NET Framework you have. This is it right here. This is it right here. So I'm going to right click on it and just show you guys real quick. And once you've run it, it just tells you what version you have. If you are running an old version, you got to upgrade it to the latest and greatest. I'm running right now 4.8. So, you know, I think 4.6 and up, or 4.8 is whatever. The latest version of it, you know, works. So that's the script that I will give to you guys and upload it so you can get a copy of that and run it within your SCCM. And we had to update our boot image. Our boot image was on red because it did not successfully update during the process of upgrading our SCCM. So we actually had to go in there and upgrade it. I'll show you guys how to fix that. I had a couple of problems upgrading the console. We fixed that as well. boom. Guys, basically, I show you guys what I do when I need to upgrade my SCCM. This is what I do within my lab, and I will also do it within the production. Not a lot of it, but some of it. But that's it. And once you get everything up and running within your SCCM server, I kind of recommend pushing out running a task sequence to it. Alright, we successfully did that, and we're good to go. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this live stream of me working within my lab, upgrading my SCCM to 2303. Pretty chill back live stream. I didn't have any crazy expensive mic or webcam. It's just me showing you guys what I typically do and just hanging out with you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy this live stream. If you do like this type of kind of workflow and you want to see more of it, leave it at the comment section and say, hey, Bernardo, we like this stuff. We'd like to see more of this, of you actually working within your lab and doing this stuff, clicking, right-clicking and breaking and stuff and then fixing it. Hey, it takes a couple of hours to fix stuff, but hey, if that's what you want, leave it at the bottom. And I catch you guys on the next one. I'm out of here. I'm tired, but I still want to go run. All right, later.